No first-round pick for the Broncos this year, but they still could get a quality player with their first pick at number 64. Hello, I'm Phil Milani alongside Aric DiLalla in studio as we continue our draft preview videos. Aric, the Broncos, they don't pick until the final pick of the second round. Give us a couple of names that we could pay attention to here that would be considered a steal.
Yeah, Phil, I mean, what are we going to do all evening on Thursday?
I'm going to hang out at home, I think. Maybe order a pizza, relax a little bit. But come Friday night, I'll be ready to go.
Ready to go. And even on Friday night, still got a little bit of a wait there until the end of the second round. I think when you're looking for steals, you want to look at some of these mock drafts, some of these rankings, and see, okay, who's in the 40s and 50s that could slip down to 64. I'll give you three guys, Phil. All three of them are at positions that I think are pretty big needs, as we discussed. Roger McCreary out of Auburn, a cornerback who reportedly was on a top 30 visit to the Broncos. He could potentially fall. He would have to, really, for the Broncos to have a chance at him. First team All-American, 5 interceptions over the last 2 years, 25 pass breakups. He's a guy, you have Pat Surtain, you have Ronald Darby, you of course have K'Wan Williams there in the slot, but he's a guy that could come in, provide some more depth there. You can never have enough cornerbacks in the AFC West, so he stands out first. Bernard Ryman out of Central Michigan. We talk about offensive tackle, that being a need still, specifically at right tackle. He's a guy, Phil, came over from Austria, played tight end, didn't transition to tackle until a couple of years ago, but he's a big guy, 6'6", 303, made 12 starts last year, was first team All-MAC. He's a guy that could fill in, I think, really nicely for the Broncos.
Makes me look small.
He does.
It makes me look small.
That's a tough ask to do. And then finally, out of Baylor, Jalen Petrie. He's a safety. I'd be surprised if he was there, Phil, but a couple of mocks have had him fall down that far, and he's a guy out of Baylor. He can play safety, he can play nickel, 5.5 sacks, 31 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, 2 touchdowns over the last couple of years, All-American player, all Big 12 player. He's a guy that if you could put him in that secondary as kind of like a jack of all trades, maybe he could even play in the box at times, that'd be a really impressive pick, but he's going to have to slip a little bit for that to be possible.
So you feel like maybe the Broncos need to address the secondary a little bit?
Yeah, I think the secondary stands out as one of those areas you need to address. Mentioned right tackle, and then of course at linebacker, where that's an area of need as well. I think inside Chad Muma out of Wyoming, he's a guy that, when the draft process started many months ago, Phil, he was a late 3rd round pick, 4th round pick. You thought this guy, it won't be any problem to get him. He's moved up draft boards, kind of talked about in that 2nd round range now, but out of Wyoming, Logan Wilson, of course, with the Bengals, started for that Super Bowl defense. He's a comparable player out of the same school. I think he's kind of paved the way for Chad, who played well at the Senior Bowl. And now you're looking at a guy who, if the Broncos are going to get him at inside linebacker, he's got to slip a little bit.
Yeah, you're always a little bit wary of these guys who shoot up these draft boards. But I know that George Payton, the Broncos personnel department, grinding right now, watching the tape. That's one thing that they love to do, is they watch the tape, and so they'll let that speak for itself. I'll give you 3 names here, okay, Aric? I like Chad Muma. You mentioned a local kid. I think that would be fun if a guy just up in Laramie came down and was playing for the Broncos. Another guy, Kingsley Enagbare. Did I say that right, Aric?
South Carolina.
South Carolina, 15 career sacks. I think that he could provide a lot of quality for the Broncos. We mentioned in our previous video just that edge might be a need for the Broncos. And then another steal that I think might be a little bit of a reach, but Quay Walker out of Georgia. I'm pretty sure anytime a Georgia player is going to be mentioned this year, you're getting a lot of value, and I think that he could be good for the Broncos here, Aric, as they, number 64, I think you're looking for a guy who might be able to play some minutes here as a rookie.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at some of the previous guys who have been taken at 64. You're talking about DK Metcalf, Kevin Byard out in Tennessee, and you can get some good players there.
And we know that last year the Broncos found a lot of quality players, 2nd, 3rd round guys. So looking to bolster this unit as they approach the draft coming up on this Thursday. That's going to do it for us. For Aric DiLalla, I'm Phil Milani.